Hi, family karma cast friends.
Yes, we need to come up with a name for our listeners.
Or what about like the casters with a K?
Casters with a K. That's
What about karma heads?
Yeah, karma heads
with a K.
Karma heads with a K. Can you spell karma with a C?
Wait, I don't know.
I don't know. I've never seen it that way.
I feel like I've been in isolation so long. I just don't even know like which way is up or down. So I mean, anyone can convince me of anything at this point.
I know. I feel like my brain is getting kind of mushy.
In
just
what
from,
way?
Like, the stimulation is like only what's happening in my house, and every day is like it's like Groundhog Day.
What was the most exciting thing that happened to you today?
Oh my God. Today was particularly boring because somehow we have like 2 feet of snow in Boulder right now.
I know.
It's like still snowing. It snowed for 2 days straight.
And then it's still snowing. Wait, did you already say that?
Snowing. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
I have no idea what's
okay.
going on, like I said. And it's going to snow until tomorrow.
Yeah, so that kind of put a damper on the day because I was like, fuck this. I don't want to go outside.
Oh, my God.
Like, especially because we had like 60, 70 degree weather like last week.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, we're back into winter and it's mid-April and I hate everything. So I was like, I don't want to go outside. My dogs were really excited about it, though. So
Did you take them for a walk?
Yeah. Patrick took them in the morning, and then we went for an afternoon walk. That was probably the most exciting thing that happened to me today. How about you?
I went to Trader Joe's.
Ooh.
So I stood in line outside.
What time did you go?
I went, so I haven't filled up my car with gas since this whole
debacle.
Quarantine. Yeah. And all of a sudden I'm driving like to Trader Joe's and the gas light is just like, are you fucking serious? Like, get gas, like blinking.
Yeah.
And so then I went and got gas and I ended up at Trader Joe's at like 8:50 and I waited in line. And then it was like, you can't bring in your bags to Trader Joe's right now.
Yeah.
So I left my
mistake.
bags. I spent $250 and I don't even know what.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what. So the thing is like my kids eat all day long. Like I can't even describe. They're just like Tyrannosaurus Rexes. They open the like fridge or the cabinets and they just put shit in their mouth and it doesn't even matter. And so that's why I go to Trader Joe's to just kind of get
everything. I mean, you can buy a lot of stuff at Trader Joe's for $250.
I know. So I filled up like the back seat of my car.
Were they fully stocked?
Yeah, but you can only buy like one thing of toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I couldn't which is like fine. We have toilet paper. I'm just like get anxious when there's like 6 rolls and I'm like, oh my God, like we're going to I mean, we've talked about like, my bathroom habits on this show. And it's like, I like toilet paper. Like I like having an abundance of it. Not even like pre-coronavirus, I was a toilet paper person.
What do you think about bidets?
I've never used one. Have
Me
you?
neither. I'm kind of afraid to.
No, it's like, so the thing is, I feel like, okay, so the vagina I like learn in my 30 odd years of living this earth, like I don't know, like I know what works for my vagina and what doesn't. And I don't want to fuck around with like a bidet and figure out if it works or it doesn't. Because like I'm prone to UTIs.
Oh, and
remember
if you get like water up there and
who
bacteria.
knows?
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that. I get it.
Do you know what? I came to a part of my day though, Indra, and I texted you one of them. I was just like, so there was, for all you Real Housewife of Atlanta fans, there's been a video of Greg and Nene Leakes doing an Instagram live. And Greg has this like 1,000-yard stare. Like everyone's really animated in the video and he's just sitting there like frozen. And so then I just started Google like different celebrities doing 1,000-yard stares. And then I came across puppets doing it and like, and it was just Elmo doing it. Like,
and it's because they're like frozen on the screen.
It's just like, no, it's just like everyone's talking and they're like, look at me in the video. And they're just like,
yeah.
And that
If
was
you
like
can't,
how I
you
what I
can't
was
see
doing before
Deanna's
this.
face, but it's basically like a frozen like smile with your mouth
I sent
open,
you.
like mid-sentence situation.
I'll send you. I sent you the Greg and Nene one, but I think it was like you're putting your child to sleep. So I was like, she's not going to get to this. So after, you'll have
Yeah,
to.
no, I will check it
But
out.
isn't it funny, like these like memes and these rabbit holes that people are getting in and becoming obsessed
I
with?
know. I mean, I think it's the only way to stay sane, really.
What is your thing on the internet that you're kind of like the rabbit hole you're going down?
Bravo.
Right, that's a good
I mean,
one.
honestly, like this is the most Bravo I've ever watched in my life because like we're trying to gear up for when Family Karma ends in a couple of weeks. There's
Right. I
only
know, so
2
sad.
more episodes after this one, and I don't know if there's going to be a reunion episode, but I hope so.
You know what? If Andy has the time to do Watch What Happens live from home,
Yeah,
and do Atlanta, because they're doing Atlanta reunion over.
Skype or something.
Yeah, like there's no reason.
Yeah, they should absolutely be able to do it with the Family Karma cast. So I am hoping that that happens. And if it does, we'll obviously cover whatever we can. So the deal is that we're trying to like figure out what we should cover when Family Karma ends. And obviously we
New
want to
York.
cover other Bravo shows. So we're going to do Real Housewives of New York. We're going to do
Potomac starts and so I'm caught up on Beverly Hills and New York. Potomac, which I heard is the hit. I don't know what's going on with those girls, but I think I'm going to start it because what the hell
You can
else am
just
I gonna
catch up on
watch?
that. We'll do Vanderpump. I'm like speed watching Vanderpump to get caught
We're going
up.
to talk about Vanderpump. So actually, we won't talk about it because you're not caught up. Vanderpump is infuriating to me lately.
Yeah.
Infuriating.
It is all
like,
the
I
time.
just, I know, but I think it's just because everything's boiled in because of coronavirus. Like, I am just like, I don't like anyone on that show except for Ariana.
Yeah.
And like, Katie came out for some reason on top
Oh, really?
this episode. Oh yeah,
That's rare.
Because I told you that they had Jax arrested.
Oh my God. Okay, I can't. Let's not talk.
I know.
About
Well, let's
that.
not even.
I can't deal with
okay,
that.
So no, it's
we're gonna talk, and then we might do Summer House too. But we want to hear from you guys.
Can you guys give us our top 3? Summer House. So the thing, I think I sent you that text that comedian Paul Scheer said about Summer House. It's about humping and finger fucking.
Oh. Yeah.
Like they don't really they don't get super messy, but it's just like they're just scream at each other. That's what I heard.
Yeah, I'm sort of interested.
And they're not as young. So I thought these were people in their early 20s.
No, they're like our age.
Turns out they're our age.
Yeah, and like I think this season
like
I
think I can watch that.
I saw a commercial where like the guys from Southern Charm like go up for an episode or 2.
Oh my god.
So anyway, we'll probably cover that, but we want to know what you guys are actually watching because we want.
I think we should do like I'm all about supporting people of color.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Potomac is really important.
Absolutely.
Beverly Hills is getting their first housewife of color
Oh,
on
nice.
that show. So I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And New York's just New York. New York's just a mess, which we'll get to after.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the end of the episode, but let's talk about Family Karma because this was a good episode.
Well, okay, so my first line in my notes just says, I want to be on a party bus.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Doesn't that look? It's just like so it was like I watched it today and it was snowing obviously here and I'm watching these people on a party bus.
I know. It just
in
feels
Florida.
There's a lot of FOMO.
It's so opposite of what I'm going through.
I don't think FOMO's the right word. I guess it's more like
we're not even missing out on anything because it's not even happening.
No, we're just like
We just
God.
don't want to be where we are.
I just feel like I see that and I'm like, I literally don't think that's ever going to be possible again.
But that's dark, dark, dark. I don't want to focus on dark. I want to focus on palm trees and party buses and
Key
Vishal
West.
and the stripper pole.
Oh my God, the stripper pole. I just like, okay, so let's start the episode. There's so much to dig into this week. I'm like loving it. So Amrit gets the party bus. Everybody's on the party bus. And Amrit's like always there to like, his thing is like, let's play a game. Let's like, everybody tell us like, what's the worst decision you ever made?
I know. And I thought Monica's was pretty bad. What was Monica's? I liked Monica's.
You did?
She knocked her front teeth out.
She like was using an ab roller incorrectly or something.
But like that. Okay. That's not my worst decision or on.
But I feel like the point of that game was not to tell a story like that. Am I
sex
right?
Stuff?
Like I feel like that's just like.
Well, Anisha's was she took a shit in her sister's car.
Exactly, like which is.
But
funny.
the thing is, I was like, how old was she?
Who? Anisha or Monica? Who knows? But like, who does that? And she said she was driving.
I totally missed that part.
She was like, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think the point of that little exchange was that Monica's worst decision was like, it wasn't even really a decision, right?
It
was an accident.
It was an accident. That's so true.
Which is like, okay, this is what happens to someone who kind of makes all the right decisions, which I think Monica really tries to like make all the right decisions.
If it were me though, and there was a television camera there, I mean, the mic's right here.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't talk about like the worst decision. Is it a decision that I've ever made? Would you feel comfortable?
I mean, I don't even know what I would share, but
and I feel like
I would
stuff
like the worst decision is probably something that I don't want to share on national television, but I would probably try and come up with something that was like funny.
Yeah.
Or like just like ridiculous, And
yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I think that was just kind of the beginning of a whole episode where we're seeing like Monica versus Anisha, right? Like,
right.
I feel like at the end of this episode, they're asking us to be either Team Anisha or Team Monica. So we'll have to dig into that a little bit more.
I'll let you know at the end of this podcast who I am. I'm going to keep that close to the chest.
Okay, but you have someone?
Oh, I go back and I'm team kind of both. I mean, it's just like, and we'll get into it.
Let's talk about that when we get to that stuff later. But anyway, so we find out Anisha's mom is like really close with Monica, which is like, whoa, that came out of left field.
But then I thought about it and it makes sense because it doesn't seem, well, at least on the show, Monica's mom is not like really in the fold.
Yeah, we've never seen her.
And so it's like maybe Anisha's mom is like a second mom to Monica.
I don't know if that's the situation. I mean, I think like in that community, all the aunties are like around and whatever.
Okay.
But it does seem like Chitra's kind of like Monica. She's like fallen for the like Monica's the perfect Indian girl. I wish that like Anisha was like that. And she's like, Anisha's really temperamental and excitable. And Anisha's like, I'm sitting right here.
I know.
And her mom is just like totally unapologetic, which I love. But anyway, so that was sort of interesting. I think like, it must be difficult because I think Anisha was trying really hard to say that not say that she doesn't like Monica, but that like they have very different ideals and ways of life. And like, it must be hard to see your mom being like, oh, this person who is nothing like you is like perfect to me. So that was interesting. Okay, can we talk about Brian's tattoo?
Oh, I wrote that. The tattoo's terrible.
Okay, what does it remind you of that's Bravo related?
The tattoos?
Yeah, the letters.
I don't know. What?
Maybe you didn't see this. Okay, on Vanderpump, when Tom Sandoval gets the A on his...
When they go to Las Vegas and he gets it removed. Oh, my gosh.
No, but did you see, like, when he actually got it?
Did he get Bubba on his butt or something?
No, that's Schwartz. But Sandoval got an A for Ariana.
That's right.
And it looked like a fiery, like, they kept saying it looked like a piece of bacon. But
I
the
remember that.
letters were like the same style as what Brian had.
Is it weird that, like, what I remember about that Vegas trip is all of them putting each other's balls in each other's faces or something like random like that?
Yeah, no, well, that's because they kept showing that over and over again.
Okay, like that's
So
like
they
sticks. And
wanted
then
you
the
to remember
tattoo.
that.
Oh my! And then do you remember when Jax got Stassi's name tattooed on his bicep?
Yeah, that was like early on. And then he got that other girl, Carmen, on his other bicep.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
ridiculous.
God.
But
Listen,
anyway.
and we'll get to tattoos on Real Housewives of New York because I have so much to say.
Yeah, well, okay, so I think it's just hilarious. Like, that's the ultimate bro move. Like, to get
I know.
for the boys FTP on your
so
thigh.
bad. But it's weird because I've been tipsy and have gotten a tattoo, and it's like that will wake you up real quick. You know what I mean? The fact that like a needle is going into your arm, like you wake up really quick, I feel.
Yeah.
And like I'm just surprised that he wasn't like, I guess that just shows where his state of mind was.
I don't know. I mean, I think he was probably literally just like drunk, and he was like,
Right.
I'm having so much fun, and I keep saying this one thing, like, this is a great idea. I mean, you hear of people doing that all the time. So I thought that was hilarious. Just that, like, he was like, yeah, it's like gang letters. And I was like,
I know. And his lifestyle, man.
yeah. So then they show them all like partying on the bus. And did you notice when Monica like force fed liquor down Nihali's throat, Sean's cousin?
No.
It went by really fast, but she was like holding a bottle of like Malibu or something and like literally like feeding it to Nihali.
No, I did not.
Which like I just thought that was interesting because like if you don't drink but you're like pushing other people to drink but you get annoyed when other people ask you about it.
See,
I don't know how to feel about
see it
that.
that way. I'm just like, maybe she was drinking and she was like, you want me to do this? And the girl's like, yeah, totally. And then she did it.
Yeah, that's probably true. But they showed it intentionally, I think.
Why was that girl there?
She's Sean's cousin.
I know, but it's like Sean's not even a character on the show at this point.
Well,
Okay.
I feel like, so she's like beautiful. I wonder if they're
She's
trying
gorgeous.
to make
I hope
her
so.
a cast member at some point. I don't know. Maybe it was just so that Sean wouldn't be alone. I feel like the dynamics of the group is such that like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of
Disconnect with Sean.
I feel like Sean's family maybe just like paid for the show.
I don't know. I'm going to get into Shaan.
Yeah.
Because I wrote after this, because then Shaan's my next. I said, of course, Vishal's the first one on the pole.
And he's like an amazing pole dancer. Can we just talk about that?
So after this, so again, my theory is this is Vishal's show in the sense it's his unraveling, right?
Yeah.
But it's like the same. Every episode I learn something new. And this episode I'm like, Vishal and Richa, is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Are the funniest, kind of most laid back couple.
Yeah.
But like these different dynamics with Vishal, like nothing adds up. Because of everything we've seen, it's just like all these different layers to him. Of like, okay, he avoids whatever. He's in like the coolest laid back relationship. Like all this, like they're the funnest couple to hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Like Richa is laid back, like doesn't want to hang out with like it's just all these dynamics that I can't even wrap my head around.
Well, I think that's partly because like we're just like not seeing the entire picture. I mean,
in a good way, I can't wrap my head around. I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vishal and Richa, I feel like they're trying to portray their relationship as like not going well. But I think that they actually seem like a good match.
They seem like they're having the most fun.
Yeah,
like if
they
you
do.
Think about, let's say Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
When all those fuckers go on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
the
they
couples
all fight.
are fighting. Like the couples, Like, when Tom and Katie get together and are on vacation, it is
Oh
just
my!
like so terrible.
I am like at the end of season 5, right before they get married, and they like do their bachelorette weekend.
Oh my God.
In
And he gets
New
lost.
Orleans.
Oh no, that's
No, they're
another.
in New Orleans, and like they're getting to this huge fight, and like Schwartz is like he hates women. I
He
swear.
hates women.
He says really mean stuff about
He
women.
he said in the last episode, "This is why I don't sleep with you and I don't want to have sex with you." To her.
Oh,
Yeah, they
God.
went on an apology tour on all the Bravo outlets.
Really?
Yeah, and that's when she was like, and he walks out the door.
Holy
After
shit.
she was like, "This is wrong that Jax is being arrested."
Yeah.
And he's a white man, and like no one's like, and all these like with everything going on in the political climate right now in the world, in the country especially, and he's like, "Why are you making it like this? It's supposed to be funny. This is the reason why I don't have sex with you."
Oh my
On
God.
national
That's
television.
disgusting. They
Yeah,
like
I think you're right. He does hate women.
they have like an emotionally abusive relationship.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't think Vishal and Richa, like, I feel like a lot of people I've been seeing on Instagram and stuff, they're like, I'm worried. I just like don't think they're a
No.
good match, this, that, and the other. And I'm kind of like, they are like best friends, you
They're
know?
best
You can tell they
friends.
like know each other really well. Richa
Yeah.
is like
Doesn't give a
unfazed by
fuck.
Vishal's craziness. Like, and it
Doesn't
turns
feel
out Richa is
threatened.
crazy too. You know,
And
she
the
has a
thing
wild
is
side.
like everyone's like, okay, Vishal's gay, and then I felt like being like, I don't know, as a woman, I want to go to the gay clubs when I'm with my gay friends. Like just because a man is like, and I think Vishal was presenting it to Amrit of being like, let's go to the gay club because he's like, listen, let's do it. This is your trip. Let's do something that's in your realm.
He was totally just trying to be supportive. That's how I read it too. And I feel like, okay, have you been seeing on Twitter? I've been seeing on Instagram, like a lot of people being like, they think literally every guy on the show is gay, maybe with the exception of
Who?
Brian.
Wait,
like there's a lot of speculation about Monica's dad. There's the Vishal thing. There was another guy on the show that everyone was saying was gay. Maybe someone said that Shaan might be gay also. I'm just like, can we just like stop? And then I saw another message from someone who was like wondering if Richa is a lesbian. And I'm like, why do we go there immediately? Why do we go there?
And okay, so one, it's none of your business.
Totally. Absolutely.
Two, it's problematic that you're assigning sexuality to people.
Yeah.
And like if we think about like all the different types of sexuality, is that the right term that we know in 2020 to be like everything's cut and dry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It just doesn't like. I feel like it's unfair to like label people like that, and I don't know. I understand like people are speculating. They're watching a TV. They're like removed from the cast. They're like when they make comments online, they don't feel like they're actually connecting with those people. But like this cast is they engage so much with their fans that I'm kind of like they're seeing all this stuff. So like, and they probably care. And I don't know. Do you need to like speculate about that? Is that really?
No.
I mean, and I do blame the show a little bit for trying to like prod at that issue, especially with Vishal. I feel like they're always trying to like bring it up subtly in every single episode, or not so subtly, and it's just kind of annoying. But did you notice that when Vishal was like doing his pole dancing, Richa was like in the corner on the bus, like on her phone, just like totally ignoring him?
Well, it's like she's not getting embarrassed. Like,
no,
if that
she's
was
just
Andrew,
like I don't.
I'd be
That's
like,
just like Vishal. That's who he is.
Yeah,
she's fine with it, and I feel like I actually think that they have a great relationship.
I do too. I do too. And that was like again, my what I came to at the end of this episode. And again, every episode at the end, I think something different about Vishal.
Yeah.
Like it's every emotion.
Yeah.
And the emotional diagram, he fits
all of it.
All of them. Like,
Yeah.
and so I don't
And
know.
I think we're going to see a lot more of him in these last 2 episodes too, because they're like leading up to the engagement party. So we'll see what happens with that. But I loved when Bali was like, okay, if you're going to have a stripper pole on a bus, like, get me a real stripper. And Amrit is like, I feel like I might not be gay because
I know.
Vishal's dance did nothing for me. I love them. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so then they show the beginning of the like Shaan and Brian dynamic.
No.
Which
Shaan is too much.
I mean,
I
love Brian said it perfectly. He's like, Shaan has a vibe that his shit doesn't stink.
I know.
That's like,
and it's hard. It's hard to watch because like I know so many people like him, and it's just like there's nothing more for me unattractive than like someone who kind of acts like a snob,
like a know-it-all.
And just is like and like is just kind of snobby about
and like
it
correcting
and talks down to people
all the time, like,
and it's
for
like
no reason. Like it's just annoying. Like we all know people like that. We all know people like that.
And it's just like and he brags about going to Cuba, but it's like I don't know. It's like maybe it costs money. It costs money to get to Cuba. It's like I don't know. Like, and I feel like just like I brought back Cuban cigars, and it just is like
and he's like, and so we
much.
can like watch Cuba and smoke them, like the most pretentious thing ever. And like then I have to say, like the whole conversation they had about if the bag was condensing or leaking.
I tweeted about that. And you know what I wrote? I wrote, it's like Brian was raised right, that he was like, let's clean up.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And he was like the one who took the initiative on that. And
totally.
I thought that showed, again, another part of Brian that you're just like, oh, cool. Like he's like being responsible.
I feel like Brian is getting a really good edit, and I don't think it's just an edit. I think he's actually like a pretty good guy at his core. And it showed in this episode, even though he was clearly like so fucking annoyed with Shaan, like he's still like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And by the end of the trip, they're like buddies, and like he's like, he like brings it up with him. They actually like talk about it. He doesn't just like let it fester. But
and maybe Shaan's getting a bad at it. You know what I mean? And like,
and Shaan admits, like in the kayak, he's like, "Yeah, I know I'm pretentious sometimes," and like, so they had good communication, I think. But I mean, I'm just wondering, like, how Shaan really fits into the friend group. Like, I'm actually saying I've been wondering about the entire friend group because, like, if you look at all the drama on Twitter, like who's kind of on whose team, it seems like I just have some questions about like how much did these people hang out before all of this?
I think maybe Shaan was brought in because his family's the epicenter of the wealth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they just needed one Patel to kind of bring in, which I would have liked to see personally, like another, like a Dylan Patel, his brother, his gay brother. On there.
Yeah.
Just because, I, follow him on Twitter and Instagram, and it's like he's out and doing a lot of stuff. And why can't we have 2 gay characters? Why does it have to be the token?
Just one? Yeah, I know.
And it's like I don't know. It just feels like
I don't know why they chose Shaan. Like
I don't know. And
he's
maybe it's
clearly
because he fits
like,
in with the age group.
I think he's pretty young. Like I think he's
maybe
like
he's
24.
an executive producer because that's what happened
that's what
to
I'm
Southern
saying.
Charm with Whitney.
Yes, yeah.
I
feel
Whitney's
like
show.
I wonder if his family is like kind of the people who like made the whole show happen.
And that's why his cousin is on the trip.
Yeah, and that's why he's there. And like, I don't know. I mean, he did provide some entertainment this episode, but not like definitely didn't show him in a positive light.
Well, and it was like interesting because it was they just went to Key West, right? And it was
Yeah.
like, if you and I went there, we would be like out and about, like beach, da da da. But and no one was really like on the beach. Is you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
doing that
yeah.
stuff. It was like kayaking, and then I just remembered like, oh yeah, they can like go to the beach whenever they want.
Yeah, they're probably like, ugh. Okay, so
So
that
Brian's
was
cleaning.
Brian's cleaning.
Why did I
They're
say
arguing.
Bali? I want to party with her.
Probably
just being
because
funny?
she's just chill. I would love to party with Bali. Okay,
Are
so
we at the hotel?
they get to the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
And Bali's like, Key West is not St. Bart's. She talks about like the bars where people get served like gross, sticky colored shots and your feet stick to the floor. But then she's like, this hotel looks like it serves tequila in glass, so I'm okay.
I thought where they stayed was absolutely stunning.
It looked so cute. And it was like a little like kind of area where they could all be together. It looked adorable.
Yeah.
Good job, Amrit. He planned it all.
Sure. Do you want to know something? I think they went to that hotel.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he planned it. He could DM us saying something else. Because the Real Housewives of Orange County, I think, were at that hotel.
Oh,
last
really?
Season. Yeah.
Oh.
I have to look it up. But like, because someone named Shannon Bedore didn't want to go to Key West because her husband cheated on her there. But then they ended up going, and I think they stayed in that hotel, I think.
I bet Bravo has like suggestions
hookup?
because I mean they also need to go places where they can film. They have rights, like they know
Right.
the staff and everything. So it's probably easier to just go to the same places.
Yeah, because you could pull the same permits or whatever.
Exactly. So then they show Anisha finding a mystery hair on
goodness.
her bed, and she's like, "What kind of Slumdog Millionaire trip is this?" Which I thought was so funny.
It's so weird because I find so much comfort in hotels.
I love staying in
love
hotel
hotels.
rooms,
I
but
love
I have to say, a
hotels.
hotel room that is not clean is
No,
kind
it's
of my worst
disgusting.
nightmare.
Yeah.
But so she actually explains a little bit more, and I looked it up because I wanted to know what xenodocophobia actually stood for.
Can you say
I
that
will-
word slowly?
Xenodocophobia.
Xenodocophobia.
And this is the definition. Ready?
Uh-huh.
An irrational fear of foreign hotels that may include a fear that there won't be soap, proper toilet paper, clean towels, etc.
Which is now my fear.
So, like,
I'm afraid of that.
She used to use a sleeping bag, I guess, when she went to hotels, but
'Cause she
she's
wasn't-
like trying to get over it. But it's such a specific way to be a
Right.
germaphobe. It's not like, because like later they show her out like taking a dollar bill
Right.
in her
I
mouth and giving it
appreciate.
to, and I'm like, that is way more disgusting.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about
than sleeping in a hotel.
Money's so dirty.
So like, it's interesting that it's like just this one specific like
I
situation
wonder
that
how
she freaks about.
developed it. Because it's like usually
how do you
phobias
even-
are a control thing, right?
Yeah, well, yes. But like if developing it is one thing, but then like actually being able to like name it, be like to even know that there is like a condition that
Well,
it could
so
be.
I could argue, and this is like, I'm not even trying to be funny.
Yeah.
The people that were on that cruise line that was like stuck in the harbor
Yeah.
because of COVID-19, like if you told me all those
Oh.
people had the Xeno I would be like, hell yeah, of course. But like, did something happen?
Yeah. What was the like event that brought it on? I would like to know. Anisha, please tell us.
Or
we would like to know.
or come on the podcast and explain it.
Please.
Please.
That's the other thing is we want to try and get some cast members on the podcast.
And
if
we
can.
I think we have one.
Hopefully we'll see how it works out. But okay, so Monica is in the bathroom with Nahali, Shaan's cousin, and they're talking about how Vishal and Richa are really cute and their couple goals and all of this stuff. But then they start talking about Anisha.
See, I didn't think that what they were saying was that bad.
I didn't either, but I think I don't know how much Anisha heard. I think she was just annoyed that they were talking about her at all, which like we get a little bit more of the background there. It's that she's just annoyed that everyone is always talking about her relationship status.
Right.
Like everyone's talking about like, oh, you're single. Don't you want to get married? This, that, and the other.
Right.
And she's like, no one ever asks me about my business.
That's
one
totally
like,
fair.
And it's totally true. Like I would be super annoyed if that was happening.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's so true. Like, I've seen this in my family, and I think I've said this before. It's like the marriage thing and relationships and stuff is like the number one topic of gossip amongst like every generation. If
That's
you're
awful.
like of that age, like in your 20s, 30s, and you're not married or you're not in a relationship, like everyone's talking about it. They're wondering like, you know, what's wrong with you, or like they're trying to hook you up with someone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like annoying. Like
it is. Yeah, it seems like it.
But anyway, so I understand that Anisha's annoyed about that. And like I agree. I don't think they were saying anything bad. And I thought it was like really good of Monica to just be like, "Hey, we were talking about you just now."
I think like again, Monica has a maturity that I don't know. Not saying some of the like I didn't have when I was her age.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she thinks a lot about her actions, and she's good at like looking a few steps ahead of wherever she's at and thinking like, how will this play out? Like, I'm sure she was thinking like, Anisha clearly heard us talking. She's probably going to think that we were saying something bad about her, so
I'm
might as well.
But I'm wondering if the producers shoved Anisha in there.
They probably did. I mean,
just like, go get these girls, you know?
Yeah, it's also like kind of a question. I don't know why Anisha was going in there. Unless they were sharing a suite or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out the girls' room situation.
I mean, it doesn't seem like Anisha and Monica were ever friends. Like, it seems...
No. And I think there's an age difference. It's like when someone's 27 and you're 34 and you run in different circles, like, I can totally see how they're not friends.
Well, they don't run in different circles. Anisha's mom is like besties with Monica.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, yeah, you're right.
But they're definitely like, it's clear that they're like dislike for each other or that they're not friends was like a situation long before the show.
Right. Well, I think it was interesting when Anisha was like, I rebelled against everything that Monica stands by.
Can I just say that really resonated with me? Like, I feel like it is a choice that you make when you're an Indian American, like first generation, to like follow the traditional Indian norms or kind of become more like quote unquote American and like kind of move into a more modern way of doing things or whatever. And like, I definitely have made decisions that like, I mean, the fact that I'm not married and I'm in a long-term relationship and I have a kid and stuff like that is like I don't actually know any other Indians in America. I don't know any other Indian Americans in a situation like mine. And like, I do feel like I've had to kind of like, you know, fight for it in some ways and like, you know, I've had to have conversations where I'm like, yes, this is a decision that I'm making for myself. I know it's not the one that you want me to make and stuff like that. And I think that it's hard to see, like, I definitely get annoyed when I see other people, other Indian Americans who like aren't fighting for those things.
Right.
Even though that's their choice and like, but it is kind of like, okay, you're like that and I'm like this and we're different people. Like,
right. I think that's the hardest. Like, again, mine is kind of different. Like when I was watching her say that, I think I mentioned on the podcast, like just with like being an Italian American and denouncing the Catholic Church.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And totally. Not getting confirmed and then not getting married in the church, which is huge.
Yeah.
And then not baptizing my children. And then marrying an atheist. My husband's an atheist. and I'm the first, my dad told me I'm the first person, Bianco, because my last name is Bianco, to do all this.
Yeah.
In the long lineage of Italians.
And it's like, you probably thought about
The
it every
conversations.
second.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, it's like so hard because I'm not sure about you, but like I was sent to Catholic school. And so I was like so immersed in it and whatever. And just being so immersed with it just was like, this is not for me.
Yeah, totally.
And so like, and so it's just like, but the conversations that I've had to, like my dad jokes like, if I go into a Catholic church, I'm going to burst into flames. Like, it's just like kind of like the family joke or quote unquote joke. But it's just like, for me, it's like, I see, like, I just see kind of people in my family that like, I know they don't fully believe in this bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going through the motions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean,
and I think that's what, like,
what?
It's tradition versus like you're not going to stand by just because it's tradition.
Yeah, and you know what? I think a lot of people choose to stay with tradition because it's the easier choice.
It's safe,
to make.
and it's something that is passed down to you, and you don't know any different. And
you'll be accepted, like you'll be accepted. And like, I think Anisha sees Monica like doing basically everything that all of the elders in their community want her to do. And she's like, why, like it, like I have fought to not do those things. And yet she's getting rewarded for all of this behavior.
Right.
Which is like, and understandably, it probably feels really backward to her. And it does to me too.
And I think the hard thing is like, being a female in tradition is different than being a male in tradition.
Yeah, totally.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In any culture that you're in.
Yeah.
Because the spotlight I think is more on you to perform.
Yes, absolutely.
In those situations, to play a role, to not question. And especially I think I can say for myself is I'm constantly questioned about it, and constantly like family members bring up the Bible and church, and I'm like, I do not identify as a Christian or a Catholic.
Yeah.
Like there's just no way. And I think Anisha just is tired, like we all are.
Yeah.
Me, you, and her. We're just like, again, I'm not Indian American, but it's exhausting because I think not Brian. Men can hide more, and women are in plain sight.
Yeah,
and when they're in plain sight, the people like Monica are in plain sight with a spotlight on them, and then the people like Anisha are in plain sight with a spotlight on them because it's the yin and the yang.
And Anisha makes that comment later, like, why am I Judas and she's Jesus?
Exactly.
And this is the Last Supper. Like, I thought I know she was like being funny, but it had a lot of truth to it, I thought. And it's like, she's kind of being painted as like the person doing everything wrong just because she's making decisions for herself that like are different from the community that she grew up in. And that doesn't mean that they're wrong decisions.
Well, and I think it's infuriating. I think we can say if you identify as a Democrat, which hopefully you don't have to identify as a Democrat, but hopefully right now you realize our president's an idiot. But like when you see these women that are just like so loyal to President Trump, and you're just like, we fought so hard.
Yeah, to like have rights and to be seen as like
to
equals.
Not be bullied by this,
by like literally like a rapist is what,
or just like if being like pro-choice, it's like we fought so hard as feminists.
Yeah,
again,
but
I know I'm taking it to another level.
No, I think that what's really interesting is like, I think I've said this before, but I think that like a lot of our female community, and like you see a lot of women going against each other and like fighting with one another and taking each other down. And I feel like in a lot of ways our culture has like conditioned women to be like against each other and to kind of
Right.
like hate ourselves in a lot of
Well,
ways.
I was just thinking of like again, I'm not like a Lady Gaga stan, but I
Yeah.
remember when I forget who, it was like her and Madonna, and
Hmm.
they just like wanted one of them to recognize that it was either like Gaga was influenced by Madonna or Madonna appreciated what Gaga was doing.
Yeah.
And it was like they couldn't do it or something. Like Madonna, like it was just like can't we come together as women?
Yeah,
You know what
because
I
people
mean?
were so invested in them like not getting
And they
along.
and they totally went in on it. You know, they
Yeah.
it's
And
like
do
we
you think
can't.
that's what's happening here with Anisha and Monica? I
I
mean, I
think that
feel
the pressure is, I think it's just one of those things of what's going on. Like, again, I've been like really political lately, going on the political Twitter, whatever. It's like when someone tries to like kind of challenge you, you're going to dig your heels in.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, I think they
And that's
both
what I'm seeing with
have
Monica,
I,
especially.
I think they both have like legit reasons for being the way that they are respectively and being annoyed with each other in a lot of ways, but I think they're both right and I think they're both wrong in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
I agree. I think you and I
Um
are on the exact same page.
so we'll get into that a little bit more later, but some of the other stuff that happened was
Oh, when Shaan says that men shouldn't wear shorts out dancing. And then the nerve of this man. He didn't even change his shirt from the bus.
I
He
know, but he
kept
had like 6 pairs of shoes.
but like he keeps the same shirt on that he wore in the bus on the ride up there, but then he like changed into pants. Like I was like,
Yeah.
"Sweetie, if you're preaching about fashion, let's get it
But
on."
also, like, why can't you dance with a girl in shorts? I
I don't
don't
know. I
understand that.
don't understand.
I was like, and he said it with such conviction,
I
too.
know. And
Brian was like,
I am someone, so I don't like shorts.
oh, yeah.
I'm not
I,
a shorts person.
you know
So
what?
I was kind of like, yes. Like, I personally won't wear shorts
Wait, you
out.
don't like shorts on you or on men? Or
I don't wear shorts anymore unless I'm running.
I like
Do you
didn't
wear
wear them.
shorts?
I didn't wear them for years and then I started wearing them again because I got some like cute high-waisted
Did
ones.
you? Oh, I bet you look
Yeah.
so cute. I think if
And
I found the right pair, I could wear them. Like I went through
yeah.
jean shorts. Like in the 2000s, I wore like jean shorts and tights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
That's
I
a
did
whole
that
look.
look. And
Yeah.
but then it's like after that,
What do you think about biker shorts? That whole thing.
not for me. Although I
Yeah.
wore biker shorts the other day when I ran. Like
It looks
I wear
really
them when I.
comfortable.
Okay, let's do it this summer.
I am all about comfort right now. Me and my like
I
sweatshirt
know.
and
I'm
I
wearing my
am
sweatshirt
boiling
too.
under my comforter,
Are you
but
hot? I'm kind of cold right
I
now.
should have worn
I've
a
been
t-shirt.
cold, Indra. I was cold. I thought of you. I was cold all day.
Oh, yeah,
Were
cuz
you cold all day?
it's like 15 degrees
I was
outside.
so cold in my house. I was like, I had a
Oh,
scarf on. I had
no.
I like have been like every day I dressed like something different. Today I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look like the gas station son. Like like the gas station attendant's son. Like it was like that's the
What
only
does
wig.
that even mean?
Like I was wearing a sweatshirt and then overalls and like cuz I wear my like and my glasses and I looked like a little boy being like, "Hey, mister, can I like
Oh, you mean like that kind, like a
what
young
did you
kid?
think?" Hey, or a teenager or in early 20s, like I looked like I was ready to pump your gas, but I think that's not even legal anymore.
I don't know. I actually, the state of New Jersey is a full service
I
by
remember that.
law.
I swear to God, I
Like you
remember that.
cannot pump your own gas there. So I don't know.
I don't know. Today when I was pumping my gas, I forgot it was coronavirus. And I was like, oh shit, 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 shit. I was like touching all the wrong
Wiping stuff.
things.
I know it's so
I like forget. Like
hard.
I don't even know, Indra, how do you even maintain your groceries? Like I am just like, do I carry this? Like
No, I just don't worry about it. I buy
okay,
the
I'm with
stuff, I
you.
bring it home and I put it in the cupboard and I just hope for the best. Like I'm not wiping all that shit down.
Okay,
Like
good. That makes me feel
maybe
better.
that's stupid, but I don't know. Like, if I had to do that with everything, I think it might actually throw me
So
over
you're
the
not
edge.
you're not wiping down your mail or anything, right?
We're wiping down like packages.
You are?
Patrick is more interested in that than I am. Like I don't know why. I'm like, I should be the one who's freaking out about this stuff. Like, I'm that person in
Why?
our relationship.
I need
Because I'm
to,
a
like,
hypochondriac.
You are.
Yeah. But
What was the last thing you thought you had? Have you thought you had coronavirus yet?
I think maybe I had it in like January, February.
Do you remember when you had that cough?
I don't
No, you were
remember.
sick.
I didn't have a bad cough, but I was really sick, just like in general, for like 6 weeks. But it could have been daycare.
I know.
The daycare, never-ending daycare cold.
I know.
I don't know what it was.
I
But
can't wait till we can all be tested. It'll be interesting.
I know. I want an antibody test like more than anything. I heard they were trying to like test it up in Telluride. But there were all these issues. Yeah, I don't know.
Why Telluride?
Because it was like a small enough city. They were trying to like test everyone with this antibody test.
Were you the one telling me that like everyone in Idaho Springs had COVID-19? And that's where Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson, because everyone has like their winter homes there.
Oh, and everyone's got it.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't the one who told you that.
Okay.
But I believe it.
Okay.
All right. So then
Sorry.
we see a couple flashes of the aunties kind of hanging out.
I know.
While
They
their
look
kids
so
are away.
beautiful. I want to get dressed up like that and go out for cocktails.
I know.
It's
It will
just
happen.
crazy. It's so crazy watching these people hang out.
I know. Just like casual, like
Just like
taking
okay, let's
dollar
have
bills and putting them in strippers' mouths.
or just
like no big
I think
deal.
that looked like a drag queen though. That looked like a drag bar.
Oh, it was a drag queen. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It wasn't a stripper. I was thinking about the stripper pole still. But yeah, I mean, that is like, I can't
Like having
envision
10
even when
people?
we are not socially distant that I would be okay with like doing something like that.
Just
like
like
I
having
will never share a drink with someone ever again, probably.
Oh, that's a bold statement.
Except for like Patrick.
Okay.
I don't
can't
know.
promise that.
I don't know. We'll see.
I always
so-
offer people my drink. I'm the worst. I'm like, this is good. You want to try it? And I like.
no,
pass
I
it
know.
around.
I mean,
I'm
I
terrible.
did that too, but now I'm kind of like, will I second
Oh my
guess
god! When you
that?
and I go to Jungle, we're not gonna.
Jungle is this bar in
we
Boulder
love
that's like
Jungle.
it's a tiki bar.
That's the first
and
place I want to go with you.
I got a drink there. This was like one of the first times I went out since having my kids, so I like hadn't really gone out or had like more than a beer at a time.
This was when I was with you, right?
Yeah, and
Oh, good.
I remember I got that drink that was like on fire. And then it literally had like 6 types of alcohol.
Oh my
in
god,
it.
that was you didn't even finish it.
It
was
tasted
so
like
strong.
jungle juice that you get at a frat party.
I know.
And I was like, why am I paying $15 for this
I
drink?
know, because it was on fire.
But that's just how things are, I guess. I would do anything to pay $15 for that jungle
Oh my
juice
god,
drink.
I would poop in Anisha's sister's car to go get jungle juice at Jungle right now.
Oh my god, if that's what it'll take,
You
we'll
can
do
put
We'll
me
do
forward.
it.
I'll be the sacrificial lamb to poop, and it won't take much because you
Okay,
give me
I have so
a
many
handful of
questions about
chia
that.
seeds.
Like, did she like
Poop her
what was she
pants?
wearing? How did it happen? Like, was it in her underwear and then she had to like clean it up later?
I don't know. I'm
How
not
do you-
sure. I've never pooped in the car.
She was driving, so she can't have been like taking her clothes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, so then they're at the pool at wherever they're staying, and
And
Brian
I put
and Monica.
Vishal can't wait to take his shirt off.
I know. I love
They
how
say
like Brian
pool, and he just starts unbuttoning his shirt.
and he's like, "I'm gonna go hang out," and they're
And I
like,
was like,
"Don't
what
go!"
are you-
Like Brian
why
and
are you-
Monica.
Like, just if you want to take off your shirt, take off your shirt.
He is like very proud of his abs, which
Which
is like
if you work
another
that hard,
dimension.
I know. Again, there's
Another
so
dimension
much
of
going
Vishal.
on with
It's like
Vishal.
the vanity is
The
so
vanity.
interesting. And like Richa strikes me as someone who literally does not give two shits
No.
about
I
like
think she's
her
probably scared of his. Oh, I was thinking of his abs.
Oh.
I've said on this podcast I am scared of abs.
I got some major Buzz Lightyear vibes from Vishal this episode.
Who's like a cartoon character that has like abs? We said Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear strikes me as being like a little overweight. So
see, I think so. When I think of Buzz Lightyear, okay, so I can say this because I'm Italian. So there's that thing on the East Coast where you have all these Italian men that kind of go to the gym and they kind of look fat. Like you can't tell if they're like kind of like overweight or they just kind of lift. Like it's just kind of like
unclear.
It's unclear, and that's how I pick. That's how Buzz Lightyear is to me.
Yeah, well, you
like
never know because he's always wearing that spacesuit.
And like again, like is he attractive? No.
No. But you know what? I bet Woody has a six-pack under that cowboy
see,
garb.
I like Woody because I love like tall, scrawny men. Like if you're just like a scrawny little like
I feel like Andrew kind of looks like Woody.
Thank you.
Anyway, so
Brian says the crispy joke. Oh no, they were at the pool.
They're at the pool, and Anisha makes a joke that Brian and Monica are like Jack and Rose on the Titanic, deciding if they should like go for it or not or whatever. Which
did Jack and Rose even do that?
I don't know. But here's the situation: Monica started hanging out with some guy named Rishi around the same time.
I know you got the
scoop.
You got the scoop.
So like, what?
Do we have a picture
unclear
of him?
If they were dating at the time yet, or if maybe she was still figuring things out. Like Brian may or may not have known about him. But like,
oh, and then is feeling threatened, so he feels like he needs to jump on Monica.
I don't know. Maybe
is that
that's
what you were
was
saying?
Happening. No, I'm just saying, like, is their relationship manufactured for the show or not? And I feel
I think that they're close and they're trying to manufacture. I think okay, this is what I think. I think that everyone who's on the show is realizing how close they are and like that they haven't slept together or whatever. And so it's like, again, the spotlight is on that. And so that's why everyone's all of a sudden commenting on it.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that they know that like this is a storyline and we need to like keep it going. I feel like that's definitely like happening behind the scenes.
And then I liked my theory before this.
Uh-huh.
Brian knows there's another man coming in and is like, maybe I like you.
Yeah, totally. Because
does that make sense?
Whenever thing is like not an option anymore, it's like, oh, maybe I do want that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Monica calls him out for that. Remember at the Friendsgiving thing, she's like, you only say you have feelings for me like when it becomes like this thing in your head or whatever. I think she said something along the lines of like, you manufacture feelings like when it's convenient for you or whatever. But anyway, so then it's the next morning. Anisha's talking to her mom, and it's like clearly Anisha and her mom are very close. They have such a funny banter, but like Chitra's like, I miss you. And it's like she's been gone for like one day. So I thought that was cute. And then they're like talking about what they're going to do today. And like the boys and Richa are going kayaking, and the girls are just going to hang out by the pool or something. And
there's like, it's just so funny comparing it to like, and I know you can't, but like the housewives.
Yeah.
It's like they go on like little kayaks and sit by a pool, and the housewives do all these like other crazy things. That's why I want to get these people to housewives level in the sense of like sending them on an extravagant vacation, especially to India. Like,
well, yeah, I think they have the money to do that, but
Bravo.
No, like the people on
No, I think
show.
Bravo pays for everything.
I'm sure they do. I mean, they probably just wanted, I don't know, like the kayaking looked fun.
It did.
And I thought like, I don't know, like I was seeing some stuff online about people being like, why doesn't Richa hang out with the girls, this, that, and the other? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's great. Like she just does what she wants. I do think like they show her being like, I don't like to hang out with girls because they talk too much about feelings. I feel like that is is that really how she feels? Like,
I
she
don't
said
know.
it, but
I think wasn't she like just too dramatic?
I don't know. But like they show shots of her like hanging out with the other girls and stuff. Like, do you think she's one of those girls that like doesn't have any girlfriends?
Well,
Because
here's the
they were
deal.
like women who don't have any girlfriends. I do think that can be problematic.
Yeah, but that's not her town.
That's true. She doesn't live there.
She doesn't live there, and so
That's
it's like she's
true.
not close with these girls.
Yeah, and like
And she
that
flew
is
in
very
to see
true.
her husband, her boyfriend, her fiance.
Yeah, and they don't get to see each other that much. So, and she was
And it's
like,
like
"Yeah,
she doesn't know Monica. It's like she probably doesn't really know Monica. It's like she knows Anisha because of Vishal, but she knows like Vishal hangs out with Amrit,
Yeah.
and so that's why she's kind of leaning toward that.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, this is a place where I have questions about like the true dynamics of the friend group, but and then they show like Vishal being like, Richa's not a normal girl.
I know, I love it.
And like, what was going on with that biker gang? Like, did they just run into them at a gas station?
Yeah.
And, like, how did the conversation start?
I'm guessing. I'm wondering if it was like, why do you guys have a what's it called crew around you? Like a camera crew. Maybe it was like, why do you guys have a camera crew? And then they're like, oh, we're at and then she's like, oh, is that your ba ba ba?
No, but it seemed like the footage from that was from like an Instagram story or like a phone on a camera. Mm-hmm. But like, I love that she just like got on a motorcycle with some dude she doesn't know.
I know.
And like went for a joyride.
That is so outside of my comfort zone.
I would never,
motorcycles.
Ever.
I would never get on a motorcycle. First of all.
No, and let alone with like a random person at a gas station in a place
going
I don't
like
live.
so fast. I know.
Oh my god, that was really funny. But I love how Vishal just was kind of like, "Yep, that's her. That's how she is." All right, so then they're showing like the ladies, and Bali's like, I know it's not like a cute look for me to be hanging out with you all because I'm so much older. And there's like crickets, and then they're like, I don't think that.
Because she's like because she's 10 years older than Anisha.
She is, yes. Yes, I think she's 10 years. Wait, I think, is Anisha 34?
Yeah, and then Bali's
and she's 44. But, like, they definitely are buddies, right? Like, they're definitely...
I think so, yeah.
On a
but I think it's
level.
hard because it's just, like... Because Monica's 27. I mean, it just feels like...
I know. If I like
to be divorced twice, especially.
I know. I'm 34, and
Yeah.
I don't think I could take a 27-year-old too seriously. I can't imagine if I was 10 years older, how I would feel.
Because my birthday is in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be 39.
Yeah.
And there's no way I could, like... I mean, I hang out with my cousins that are that age, but, like, they're my cousins.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a
But, like,
different
even
thing.
when I'm around younger people... I just feel like they're just on their phone a lot, like they're just like in this world of like zooming to this, that, and like they're on TikTok and whatever. And it's like, I mean, granted, I've been on my Instagram account and on Family Karma's Twitter like crazy, but it's like I try not to like get caught up in that stuff.
We're also like quarantined in our houses. So
yeah, but I just don't. I don't know. I just like don't care. I try not to care about that stuff in normal life.
Yeah, totally.
But it's just like, I don't know. Like, granted, now I wake up and I look at Instagram, but before I did not do that. Yeah. I try not to do that, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that generation is just like, they don't understand that, like, you have an option to not be doing that all the time.
Anyway, like, age
back
difference.
to, like, so Bali's probably just looking at Monica, like, and
You're
she even says, she's like, why is this drama? Like, why are we even talking about this? But then, of course, she kind of stirs the pot later as well.
I do think also the second a vagina or a kid comes out of your vagina, it kind of separates. You know what I mean? There's that separation.
Yeah.
You can even be the same age.
Yeah.
But it's like you've lived, just by that alone, you've lived totally different lives.
There's a very big thing
has
happened to your life that is like permanent that
Yeah.
You can only kind of understand if you've gone through it as well.
Well, it's just like you have this weight on your shoulders, and I'm not saying it's an attractive weight or whatever.
No.
That like you know what sleep deficiency is. Like in a way that remember when I was trying to tell you before you had kids, I was like, just wait.
That's how I got into Bravo, is like watching Bravo in the middle of the night, like nursing my child for like an hour.
And now you can't go back.
Nope, now I can't. Okay, so during this conversation, the ladies are talking and Monica and they're talking about Shaan, and Anisha's like, I always tell him that he's like a 7-year-old grandmother, and then they show a clip of him
my gosh,
reading the newspaper on his balcony, and he's like, I'm learning about bird conservation.
I know shit. I thought he was like 38, 37. I was like, he's 26?
I feel like he's genuinely interested in bird conservation.
Oh, 100%. I think he's just interested, like, Andrew is like this, like whatever you put in front of him, he'll read.
Yeah.
And just like absorb.
But Andrew is like 40, right?
Yeah, he's 40.
So I'm pretty sure Shaan is like 25 or under.
Yeah. But he even looks older, don't you think?
He does. I mean, he definitely has like a gait and way about him that makes him seem older than he is.
He drinks old fashions. Like, I don't know any 26-year-olds that drink old fashions.
Anyway, so then they go on a sunset cruise, and
this is my worst nightmare. I have to tell you, Indra.
Why?
A sunset cruise is with a bunch of people you don't know sounds terrible to me. Like, I was with Bali.
I have been on a couple. Anisha's like, where are you taking us? Why are we on this like
with a bunch
boat
of
to Ellis
tourists?
Island?
Oh my God. I do not. I was with those girls. I was like, it would be one thing if it was like a private yacht or like a private, but just like, so I zeroed in on my one person. You want to hear her? The white girl with the braids. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see her?
No, wait. Was she one of the girls that Brian talked to?
No, she was one of the girls. Remember when they were doing the sale?
Oh, yes.
There's always this girl on your tropical vacation. It's always the most unwokest white woman who gets the braids in her hair.
Oh, yeah.
My eyes narrowed in on her, and I was like, I do not want to be on the boat with people.
I did not notice her at all.
Yeah.
I want to go back and look for her. Can we talk about how, like, what do you think of that, like, off-the-shoulder blouse situation that is like everyone is wearing?
I have no chest, and I feel like if you have no chest,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't look.
I don't think it works in general. I think it makes people look dumpy and ugly.
I think for me, it's like I watched my mom in the 80s wear those tops, and she looked very nice in them.
Yeah.
For me, I won't even wear a spaghetti strap.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Like, I won't wear a spaghetti strap anything.
Because you don't want to show your shoulders?
It's not even because I'm conservative. It's just because I would rather wear, this is what I would rather wear, like something like a bra and a see-through top. Like, that, I think, is as good as I get.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just for me. You're right. Like, for me, I don't have the body like that for that, and I don't have the youth for that.
But do you even, like, I don't even think it looks good on people, though. I really don't.
I've seen people where it looks good on. I thought Monica, when she was in that one top and skirt, I guess it was a skirt combo, the red and white one, I thought she looked really good. Well, I don't understand the bra situation. I guess you're not wearing a bra?
I think it's interesting that Monica is very traditional and the good Indian girl in all of these ways, but she dresses like pretty scantily clad, I would say.
I think, again, I don't want to judge a girl the way she's dressed.
No, I don't either, but I just want to say that, like, I think that doesn't fall in line.
It doesn't. So I don't know, like the Indian
I'm not judging her at all.
No, I don't think you are. I don't know if that's like. Oh, another thing about that top is, like, I feel like it would just fall down on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I'd always be messing with it. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I'm not into it, and every girl on that boat was wearing that, and I was like, okay, I'm over it. But this was filmed like 2 years ago, almost. So
right.
All right. So then let's see what else happens. So we see some like flirting going on between Brian and Monica, and Brian like hits on a couple white girls.
Annoying. It's just like I just want to move beyond this and get another storyline. Is that sound so bitchy?
I know. And Bali says,
exhausting.
I love how they show Bali being like, literally fuck or get off the boat.
I know. That was funny. That was really funny.
She also talks about how they do a little aside with her and O'Malley, and how she like is going to move to Louisville, and like
I can't believe
how she wants to be like that crazy rich Asian up there.
I
know. She's so funny. I wonder if she's living there now. We talked about this last time. I don't think she is. I think she's still in Miami. Good. But I'm not sure. Okay. Then we see the aunties again. Can I just say something that bothers me?
You can say anything.
So I noticed that at least I think Shaan's mom was wearing like blue contacts, and
wait, what?
like it's I
didn't know which one was Shaan's mom.
She hasn't been in it very much. I only know who she is because I've like seen her on Instagram and stuff.
Okay.
But she was wearing blue contacts, and maybe some of the other women were too. But I just feel like this is a thing that I have with like Indians trying to like whiteify themselves, like whitewash themselves a little bit, like by wearing blue contacts or like dyeing their hair blonde and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've always kind of, I mean, people should do what they want, right? Like if that's how you want to look, that's fine and whatever. But I don't like that it could come from a place of like self-loathing about being a brown person.
Are there any famous Indians that have
there's a whole community
done cream to their face to lighten it?
Oh yeah, there's like this whole thing. There's this product called Fair and Lovely. It's literally called Fair and Lovely.
I'm Googling it.
And it's like a cream that like makes your skin whiter. And it's like still a thing in India. I can't even believe it. But
Fair and Lovely.
There is also like a whole community of people in India who legitimately have like green and blue eyes. So maybe that's the Patels. I don't think so. They looked fake to me. But
do none of these girls? Oh my gosh, people get so light.
Yeah, like being fair in Indian culture is like their version of racism. I mean, it's like
so bad.
It's like there's this term called colorism, which is like when you're like racist within your own community. So like Indians who consider more fair-skinned Indians better than those who are darker-skinned is like such a real thing, and it's like really fucked up. And I've had people in my family make comments about that, like
how
when people like have a baby and they have like darker skin or like this and the other, like they'll make comments about like the color of their skin in like derogatory ways, and it's really fucked up.
Well, it's crazy because I know, like, we've all seen the pictures of the people of color, celebrities that have light in their skin.
Yeah.
Not saying anyone's admitted to it.
Well, like Michael Jackson, right?
Right. I mean, but there's been rumors of Beyonce doing it.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard about that.
Do you have your computer open?
I'm not on the internet, but I'll look at it later.
Yeah, so Beyonce, and someone said that Mindy Kaling did it. Is that a lie? That she lightened her skin?
She looks pretty, like, she's looked the same to me.
Okay.
But I would be surprised if she did, but I don't know. I feel like if she did, she would be honest about it. But I also feel like she's too progressive for that. I don't know. I would hope so.
That's what I've heard Beyonce. I've heard Mindy Kaling. I've heard.
It's just sad, right?
It is.
You know, like that these people of color like feel like they have to do things like that.
Oh, Iman.
I'm
Do you know
not
who
even.
Iman is? David Bowie's wife.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm like not even judging them for it.
No.
It's more like a
How could you
commentary on
judge? I know. And the
like
thing
why do
is
people feel driven to do these things,
I
right?
know. Well, it's hard because it's just like, I mean, like, I'm a white woman who, of course, you know, we all have our insecurities, and I couldn't imagine feeling like, just like I don't that mind frame of like this race is more beautiful than that, and so you want
Yeah.
to be like that race, and I say that as a white woman, and it just like I don't know, it just bums me out.
Well, I mean, it is a real thing. Like
It is a very real
that
thing.
like people with lighter skin across all cultures and all over the world are like considered better for some stupid reason. So,
Right. And I really do hope that, especially like Beyonce, I hope that that's not true about her because, you know, she is so successful. And
yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised.
you wouldn't.
I mean,
She's
you
had a
know how
nose
I feel
job.
about
I know.
her.
She's
I'm
had a
like
nose job for sure.
most unpopular opinion ever. I
And you
can't
know
get
what?
into
Her
that
and her
though.
sister have both had matching nose jobs. And that's another thing that pisses me off is like as someone with an Italian American nose, it's just like
Leave the nose alone.
everyone changes their nose. Like it just seems like everyone changes their nose.
Do you think I feel like if we get if we get a second season of Family Karma, are we going to see some nose jobs?
Some nose shames.
I hope
and
not.
I hope that
don't
they
do
don't
it.
put don't no injections or if do tasteful injections.
I saw on Anisha's something that she does filler.
Where does she get? Oh, I would love to interview her about that.
I don't know where, but she does it really well because you can't tell at all.
Oh, is it on her Instagram? I will go look.
She did it in a story. I don't know if she actually like. I bet she
And
would tell
I'm not
you,
against
though.
Botox and fillers. Hey, I am not against that. I think it's when you get to the lalas, and we've mentioned this.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
can I say in your realm, when you see a bachelorette contestant come back with a different face when she's the bachelor.
Oh yeah, like
That is
Caitlin Bristow.
Which one was Caitlin again? She was shorter.
She was like small and petite. She
Yes.
was on Chris Soule's season, and then she became the Bachelorette. And literally,
She had
her
sex with Nick
whole-
Vialli.
Yeah, her whole face is
Yeah.
like completely different.
Changed.
And then she's like trying to say that she didn't have any work done, and I'm like,
That's
can we
crazy.
just say that
I
it
know.
happened? Like,
I
why do
know.
you need to lie about that?
I know.
Yeah, I don't understand that. That's never so like Family Karma. If those people, if you guys decide that you want to change
Let's
up your
just talk
faces,
about it.
can you be honest about it, please?
I
We just
know.
want to know. We just want to know. Like
I just can't name a franchise on Bravo that hasn't done this. So if
like
they get a
Naomi on Southern Charm.
Oh my gosh! And she came out about it though.
But she ruined her face.
her
I'm sorry.
new nose is not that great. Her
She
old
looked
nose
just
was
so
gorgeous.
much better before. She was so beautiful. She is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
But like, I wish she had just stuck with the nose
I
she
know.
had.
I totally agree.
Anyway, okay, now we need to just talk about. Can we just talk about Monica and Anisha? We got to get into this.
Okay,
whole
so let's.
drama.
You start the conversation. I'll just add.
Okay, so like they're sitting at dinner and Anisha makes a comment, like they're playing that game that Amrit says that, what will everyone
Right.
be doing at 2 a.m. And Anisha says that Monica will be in Brian's room, like kind of insinuating that like they'll be, hooking up or whatever. And Monica freaks out because, well, she gets upset. I won't say she freaks out, but she gets really upset because she says in her thing that like, I don't want to tarnish my reputation by like, I don't want my dad to be seeing this stuff like that could tarnish my reputation. And I'm kind of like in the back of my head, which I've kind of been thinking for a while, like, don't go on reality TV if you don't want people to like hear your dirty laundry.
Exactly.
And like, that's like always in the back of my mind a little bit. But at the same time, like, I did think that there was a lot of like meddling with that whole situation from other people when it was just like is this necessary? Do we
I
need to talk about
know.
this? And like Anisha was kind of not letting it go in sort of an obnoxious way, I
Right,
thought.
right.
And then yeah, and then it was interesting, like then Bali kind of got involved in the conversation when Monica went to the bathroom. And she was like, she kind of just like was like, Brian, like you need to tell her that she's sending you mixed signals, which I thought was actually an interesting thing. Like
So
it wasn't that like they were all, it was kind of just like this has become a whole like group topic, and like it needs to end somehow. And like Brian, like can you just admit that like Monica is sending you mixed signals, and like can you take some ownership here, because like we're all getting shit on for this situation, which I'm kind of like I agree, and also like you guys don't need to keep bringing it up.
So they tweeted about it. I forget, Bravo tweeted about like, do you feel like if it's that Monica is, I'm looking at the tweet now, she's sending mixed signals, and I wrote that I don't know. It's like can you be friends with someone and people not expect there to be anything less or anything more? And I'm on the
Yeah.
side of Monica, of
Yeah.
like mixed messages again makes it sound like he bought you a drink and you're not fucking him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
And
yeah.
and mixed signals or mixed messages, it's not like she's brushing up against his junk or like pretending to kiss him or like just like pulling him in for a close snuggle or whatever. It's like they're close friends, they've known each other for ages, and they have a familiarity with each other.
Mhm.
And then it's just like everything has to cross the line again.
Well,
It's the same thing with Vishal and
did
people
you
being like,
see, like, I did feel like they have some flirty body language going on, though. And I think that maybe Brian is instigating more of that than Monica is, but Monica's also not, like, shying away from it.
okay.
So I think maybe that was part of what they were noticing. But also, I totally agree. Like, it's definitely trying to paint this picture of like, oh, this girl and guy are friends, so they must be like
Right.
in love with each other, which is just like, why does that have to be the case? That just seems like very, very like 20 years ago
Yeah,
or
and
more.
it's just like it's like that whole thing of like will they won't they, kind of thing. And like I've been rewatching Cheers because the world is sad and Cheers makes me happy. And it's the whole thing of like that show is based on a male and a female, and will
Yeah.
they won't they? And it's just like so many shows. Like I'm gonna sound archaic. There was a show called Moonlighting that Bruce Willis was in,
Mhm.
and it was like, will they, won't they? And it's just like the same dredged up like thing of just like
I
I don't know.
know.
If I was Monica, I would just be like, I don't really want to keep talking about this. And like she said, like, do we want to bring up everyone's like dirt? And I think
Yeah.
she's very aware that the storyline of Family Karma is propelled by this. And so that's
Yeah.
why she was just kind of throwing it out there. Like, why is this kind of the main subject? And I think people on Twitter are just like, this is getting tired.
Yeah, it's getting tired, and like, yeah, I mean, I think
I think Anisha was right though when she saw them texting back and forth, Brian and Monica, being like, "Do you want to say something to me?"
yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's on edge about every with what's going on with Monica right now and her, her
Yeah, I
name coming
mean,
out of her mouth.
I know it's interesting. Like, I thought Anisha kept like pushing the Monica thing though, and I'm like, but you're at the same time saying like you don't want people to be talking about your situation being
I know,
single, so it's kind of a little bit of like,
double standard.
yeah. But I think that I feel like everyone was like kind of behaved badly in this episode.
Well, it's like I really appreciate how Vishal and Richa were just like chowing down on the crab legs.
Oh my
Like,
god! And then
especially Richa was just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna
no,
eat.
And Brian was like, I feel like Brian could have said a little bit more, but maybe I think he's also always trying to make everyone feel good. But I think, did you catch the part where he was like, man, this calamari is like on fire?
No, but I did. All of a sudden they
Or
shot
is
to
fire.
the table. And all of a sudden, it looked like there was like a pound cake on there. I was like, when did that? It was like a chocolate pound cake with vanilla icing.
Wow, I
Like,
missed
it
that.
looked like there was like a whole cake on there. And I was like, huh? Like
Well,
when did that cake arrive?
When in Key West.
Oh my gosh, I really want to go on vacation down
So
the
I think
street.
I think the takeaway is that I'm not team anyone.
Team no
here,
one.
But I think that I understand why Anisha feels the way that she feels. I think I understand why Monica feels the way that she feels. And I think they're both like right in their own ways. And I also think that like they're probably just never going to be friends. And like I don't think they were friends before this. I don't think they're going to be friends after this.
Exactly.
If you check out Twitter, like they were going at it.
I mean, that's the real tea. I haven't even gotten to Twitter because I finished the show and then I kind of just hung out. And then so I'm going to go on Twitter. Are they attacking each other?
It's pretty, they were definitely going at each other, and like Bolly's getting in on it, and Shaan's in on it, and Brian, and this and that. And I feel like there's like these little factions coming out of it. Like Bolly is definitely Team Anisha, Brian is Team Monica, Vishal and Richa are like maybe neutral.
I don't know if I follow Richa.
Or like Vishal
Twitter.
and Richa, if they're Team anyone, I think they're maybe Team Monica.
Interesting.
But like Vishal and I don't know. And then Amrit is just like stirring shit up.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Which I kind of appreciated. I thought it was funny. Everyone was kind of, I feel like I saw some comments of people like hating on him.
I would love to interview Amrit and see like how he's doing.
Oh yeah. Like just in general?
Yeah, I don't know if he listens to the podcast. We can get in touch. Well, just like what's going on with him and his boyfriend.
Well, I hope that we get more of that in the coming episodes. It looks like the next episode is like a launch party for his law firm. So
yeah, I was like, this is so interesting.
Yeah, that should be interesting. But anyway, interesting. I think that I saw a lot of stuff also, people kind of being like Bolly is like the devil and like
I saw those tweets before
the episode.
Yeah, and I was like, I just did not think. I mean, that was
didn't come
anywhere
across.
in. Like, especially compared to other Bravo celebrities that are nightmares. Like, she is not even.
No, and like I feel like she's
close to being a monster.
I feel like she was asking Monica questions about why she was upset in like a supportive tone.
Exactly.
She's like, "Are you still upset about this? Like, let's talk about it." You know, like I feel like she's like trying to be nice about it. I think she also, like Anisha, kind of pushed a little too far.
Right.
Like it didn't need to be, they didn't need to talk about it that much. They could have just dropped it and they didn't, but who knows? They knew the cameras were rolling.
I know.
They knew it would be good drama. Maybe that's what happened. Who knows?
But now it's just like kind of getting exhausted. That's why it's like, when do we write us and let us know when we find out if there's going to be a second season?
I know. I feel like we need more information.
Know.
I heard that they might start distributing the show in India, which would be super great.
That'd be awesome.
But so anyway, then there's like the end of the episode is like the brunch the next day, and Bolly and Anisha aren't there. They had to go back early so Anisha could see her grandparents before they went to India. And they're talking about how like Brian was there was a whole thing at the dinner that we missed about like the boxers, like he was in his boxers.
Oh yeah, who cares?
And it was like,
I'm like, who cares? I honestly,
it was clear that like it wasn't just Monica in the room, and like I could see Brian walking around in his boxers like
who
with anyone and not so I really hope they just drop it.
Just drop
because
it.
like I think we all know now that like Monica is not in a relationship with Brian,
and
she's dating someone else.
Yes.
It's just like done. I'm ready. What I'm looking forward to in the next couple episodes is learning more about Vishal and Richa's engagement party, and I think they're gonna show like the auntie drama again.
Love it.
So looking forward to that. Oh my gosh, we have been recording for a really long time now.
New York really quick.
Yeah, let's do a quick.
I just want to hear what you think.
So, Real Housewives of New York, I think it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
But that's the point, right? Like these rich bitches, like
stuck up,
being stubborn, like stuck up.
They're not even stuck up. It's like they're archaic.
I know, they're so
it's just
old.
Like
the tattoo thing.
So old.
Are you kidding me? Like. They were giving Leah so much shit about having a fucking tattoo.
I know. And Sonia's talking about like who she's had sex with on someone random's like sink. It's like
I know. And Ramona,
give me
like
a break.
Okay, here's what I think of all the cast members.
Ramona
sucks.
Ramona sucks. She's the worst.
I really don't like her.
She's a terrible person.
Sonia seems like crazy, but likable.
I like her.
Dorinda seems like she's evil, but she's also like kind of likable. Tinsley just seems stupid to me. Who else am I missing? Luann seems like a lost, scared cat.
That's really interesting.
And she seems really insecure to me. And
yes, 100%. The Countess.
Leah is absolutely the best character.
Leah's the best. And it's so funny because you don't know their dynamic before this, but Leah has like just taken the reins and just gone with it. And like, I don't know. It was just so weird of like these women and they're in the Hamptons and they're just like, oh my God, tattoos. And as someone like, not to sound snobby, but I've been going to the Hamptons since I was born.
Yeah, because you grew up on Long Island.
Yeah, and my dad has a house in the Hamptons, and I have tattoos, and it's just like they made it sound like there's no room for tattoos in either Manhattan or the Hamptons.
Well, that was like, did you notice?
Like, what the fuck?
The only women talking about that on the show were like 60 plus.
I know, and that's
the thing.
Like
they're just a different generation. Like,
and
I wrote
like Ramona is bitching about the tattoos, and she's dumping clumsily like wheat thins. Like it was like so, like it was like that's where she was stuck in time.
I know,
of like an '80s wheat thins commercial versus like Leah's like fresh and young and like or young compared to those.
Yeah, they
ladies.
They needed to focus on something to hate on her because
and Dorinda
she's like,
is just like so mean, and she's gotten so mean over the years. Like she was like very likable back in the day, and now she's just kind of like drinks too much.
She was fake crying in this episode. I feel like there's a lot of fake drama on the show, which is understandable after so many years. Like they know how to play the game. They know like what will get aired.
Right. I think with the housewives, they really need to start cleaning house with all the housewives. And
like they need to just start kicking people off.
They did it like with the OC.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very first Housewives that there ever was. They kicked Vicky Gunvalson off, who was the first OC, first housewife ever. They kicked her off. They need to kick Nene Leakes off because I'm sorry, I think she's just like too. She doesn't open up on the show. They need to kick Dorinda off. I think they need to kick Ramona off. I think Sonia could work. Tinsley's gone, so just FYI, she leaves halfway through the show.
Oh, she does? Why?
Because he's the coupon king. That's Tinsley's boyfriend, who she's not with.
Oh,
he's called
Scott. That guy
Scott. So Scott's called the coupon king.
Okay, why?
Because he has a coupon business. And So that's the one they're like, oh, like he pays for everything. So he didn't want to be on the show. First they
Okay.
met on the show. And then he's like, I don't want to
Oh.
be on the show. And then she's like, okay, well, I need to be on the show because what else am I going to do for money?
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to be on the show. And then he shows up on the show. And
Okay.
then now he's like, doesn't want to deal with it. And then apparently halfway through this season, he proposes to her. And then he's like, but you can't be on the show. And so I heard that she leaves to Chicago.
Oh.
So it leaves
well.
Leah. So yeah, I'm
So what's
with
the
you.
deal? It sounds like from what they're saying so far that he's kind of not a great guy.
He he sucks. And like so on the Real Housewife Bitch Sesh podcast, they do a lot of live shows and they call it Boots on the Ground.
Yeah.
And what they do is they have audience members come up and tell their housewives stuff that they've interacted with, and the Scott Coupon King things are just like not good.
Oh, like the people who have actually met him?
Yeah, like his like, oh, my best friend's his personal assistant and this is like what kind of person he is.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad. She definitely doesn't seem like she has a spine of her own. I could see her
No.
totally leaving for a guy
And
who
she
treats
has
her badly.
she has a mom and her name's Dale. She talks like this. She's from the South, and they cried. They cried because they cried because she had her eggs frozen, and the doctor did a video chat with the eggs, and her mom just start bawling.
They
And
did
she's
a,
like-
wait. What? They did a video chat with the
And she goes, "Those are my grandbabies." Dial.
Okay.
Her
Well,
name's Dial.
I'm gonna stick with it. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
I'll get more into it. but
Andra, what the fuck else are we gonna do than watch Bravo?
know.
Like I've sworn to myself I'm never gonna watch Summer House. What am I doing? I am like, when can I watch Summer House? Like when? I'm watching Below Deck Sailing. I mean,
I
it
know.
can't get lower than this.
There's so many shows. We want to know, like, seriously, DM
the
us,
lowest.
email us, Twitter.
I'm
tweet us.
considering to start up 90 Day Fiance again, but that's
Tell
just
us,
such
like,
a rabbit
what
hole.
reality
Any show.
TV you want us to recap, and we will do it.
I think that 90 Day will be all consuming. It's like so much. I told you I did one season. It was all consuming. It was
Yeah.
all I thought about. Like I would go through my day just thinking about like these people. And because
I
you know
just
what the
feel
thing
like,
about 90 Day
Is
Fiance?
this gonna, like, coronavirus gonna go on long enough that we're gonna run out of reality TV?
Indra, this is my selling point on 90 Day Fiance. There was one couple and they didn't speak each other's English. And so they would have to, like, they'd get in fights and they would just speak into their phone and then wait for their phone to translate it in their voice.
Wait. Oh, they didn't speak each other's
Yeah.
language. Oh, okay.
Did I say voice?
You said English. They
Oh
didn't
yeah,
speak each
English.
other-
Like, oh sorry, they didn't speak each other's language, so they'd be like enraged, like shoving the phone in each other's face.
That's next level. Well, there's lots out there. We want to hear from you what you're interested in.
This was an
Maybe we'll
extra
do some
long.
polls online on social
Oh
media.
yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
So think about it. Because between this season of Family Karma and hopefully the next one,
I
we
know.
have to
we have
do
time.
something.
Maybe it'll turn into a Bachelor podcast. in the
I hope
meantime.
so. I mean,
Although that's
you
not
know, The
happening.
Bachelor is my true love.
I know.
And I wish that I could talk about it all day. That new Bachelor show, Listen to Your Heart.
Oh
it
my!
started
Are
tonight.
there Bachelor people on it? Is that
No,
what it is?
there's like I'm not watching it because, like, as someone who's like into music and a musician, I feel like that show will just throw me over the edge.
It will.
But I do think that some of the characters from that show they're trying to use on, like, Bachelor in Paradise and stuff. So, but I don't know. I'm not getting
Bachelor in
into
Paradise
it.
isn't even happening.
I know. That's the thing. Is, like, are any of these things going to happen? Like,
No. They
all
cut off
reality
'cause-
television
Well,
is
did
gonna
you hear
dry
that they
up.
started filming for The Bachelorette and they had to cut it?
Yeah, I did. And The Bachelorette, man, oldest ever. She's like 38.
Good for her. I'm listening to, they're doing Juan Pablo's season on, oh my gosh, why can't Will You Accept This Rose podcast? So they're doing that right now. They're reviewing it because she was on that, right?
Yeah, she was like the runner-up. And she had sex with Juan Pablo in the ocean. That's all I remember.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, ocean sex? Ugh.
No thanks.
Talk about things I don't want to do. All right.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
DM us because we're bored. Oh, do you want to know my favorite thing that happened today in the news?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was last night. So Big Pun who's a rapper, he has his own Instagram live show, which basically he just like shares the screen. And so we had Swiss Beats on last night. You know Swiss Beats?
Yeah.
Shaquille's husband or whatever. And Ja Rule calls in and was like, I want to do a rap battle on your show with 50 Cent.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, I was like, oh, hell yeah. It's like, it's like the early aughts. Like, Ja Rule.
Bring
and
it back.
The best was like all the comments of just who was going to win. I was like, I don't know. The pandemic is awful, but this here is like amazing.
I know. The connections, the weird connections that are happening are real. Okay, so sorry the episode was so long, but there was a lot to dig into this week.
You're welcome, because what else are you going to do?
Totally. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Totally rate and review if you can. We really appreciate it. Tell a friend about Family Karma and our podcast. Spread the love. And
we love you.
We love you, and we will talk to you in a week from now.
Namaste,
Thanks for listening.
bitches.
Namaste, bitches. Bye-bye.
Bye.